In this special edition of tutorials, we will create the hips for our minifigure, sketch polygons, create axles, mirror sketch elements and features, and so much more. So welcome to the Learn It channel, lesson 10C. So with this tutorial, we are going to learn how to 3D model the hips. So let's just take a look at our part here. There it is, our right profile and our top profile. So let's dig into it. Let's create ourselves a new design and save it right away. We're going to call this hips. So let's go to our unofficial drawing here and look at our hips drawing. So we've got, again, let's just break this part apart and talk about the basic elements. So I would start off with the rectangle shape over here. So it's 0.57 by 0.295 by 0.085 tall. So let's try and remember that, 0.57, 295, 0.085. We're going to create a sketch on our XY plane, center rectangle, and I've already forgotten it, 0.57295, 0.295, 0.57. There we go. Going back to our drawing, it's 0.085 deep. We're going to go the negative direction here. Perfect. Now what should we do? Well, I'd probably create these posts on the top. So they're 150 thou tall. And the type of feature we're going to make are 8-sided polygons. And the diameter of them is 0.205. And they're 150 thou away from the center. So let's create that first. We are going to do our spacing 0.15 and a diameter of 0.205. So again, we're going to call it 0.2, and we're going to constrain it to our center point, and it is offset 150 thou. Perfect. Now let's go over to create and go to polygon. And we can select an inscribed polygon. And we're going to pick our center point and then move over to our edge of our circle. So don't worry about the orientation right now. Let's just click accept. You see that I've only selected or only created a 6-sided polygon. So let's undo that. I'm going to go back to polygon, inscribed. I'm going to select on the center. Now, instead of clicking, we're going to press tab and select 8 sides. Perfect. Now we're going to go and select our edge of our circle, our diameter. Now let's make this constrained horizontally. So we can pick that line and it will constrain it horizontally. Perfect. Now let's just take our circle and press X. We'll turn it into a construction line. And now we can do, well, let's mirror it. Unfortunately, we have to mirror all of these different entities, which is okay. It doesn't take too long. Perfect. And our mirror line, right now, we didn't create a construction line to mirror it, but that's okay. We can just turn on our origin and select that face. There we go. So both of these are now mirrored and fully constrained and dimensioned. You can see this line sticking off in the distance, so it's actually created a center line for us when we did the mirror. So we can just turn that off. Well, let's extrude first and it will get rid of that sketch feature. So these are 150 thou tall. Perfect. Now let's go back to our drawing, and what would we do next? Well, we would probably design this circle and the post in the middle. So let's do that first. You can see it's right on our center line, and then we've got a width of this circle, and then we've got the post, we've got a diameter, and we've got a length to those as well. So let's dive into it. Right now our diameter is 0.276, and it is 0.21 off of the top feature of our hips. So let's remember 0.276 and 0.21. So let's create a sketch, and we're going to do it off of our YZ plane. And we're just going to create our circle as 0.276. Again, we can constrain it to the center and then dimension it off of the top to there is 0.21. Perfect. Our line is still there, so let's go to our sketch. Oh, our line because we projected, that's right. So let's go to back to our drawing, and its width is 32 thou. So let's extrude it. And actually right here, we are going to extrude all the way down our part so that we can cut it out. So let's do that first. So we're going to, as we bring it out, you can see that it notches that out because we're in operation of cut, and we're going to go symmetric. Great, and in the distance, we could just go all, and it will cut everything out right there. Let's go okay. We still like that circle, so we're going to bring back our sketch. And again, our dimension here is 32 thou. So let's select that. Let's go 32 thou. And again, for our direction, we're going to go symmetric and whole length. There we go. And right now we're going to join it. Perfect. Let's hide our sketch. And there we have it. Now let's do the posts. The dimension or the diameter of the post is 0.065, and it is 216 from the center point. So 0.065 and 0.216 from the center line, I should say. So let's create that. And we can just do a little bit of math right here. Again, this is 0.216 and 16. So it's actually 200 thou. Great. Awesome. Let's mirror it. Feature, mirror plane is going to be our YZ. And okay. Great. Let's go back to our drawing. And here we have a typical radius or fillet of 0.0025. So we have most of these features that are 0.0025 fillets. So let's do that. Let's go back to our hips. And now what we're going to do is go to fillet, and we're going to select, not that one. We're going to select our top face, this one. So the only features that we don't want to create a fillet on are these two edges right here. And well, actually we could probably put it on all of them. Yeah, let's just do it all. So let's just select our faces. That's the easiest way if we know that we're going to select everything. So let's do that. There we go. We don't need to select those on the inside there. Actually, it's going to create an error right there. So let's not worry about it. Let's just do that outside and that outside and call it 0.0025. Again, the reason why we're putting fillets on our parts here, just the really small ones, 0.0025 is half the thickness of a human hair. But the reason why we're doing that is later on when we render, it's going to look a lot more realistic. So last but not least, let's apply an appearance to it. Do you remember the shortcut for appearance now? Let's press A. There it is. And we're going to make this blue. So type in blue, enamel glossy. We can drop it into the design. And there we go. So we have finished the hips. What's next? On to the legs. See you in the next tutorial.